Here is an interesting problem on rate of change. The question here is, find the coordinates of the point on the curve f of x equals to 3x squared minus x, where the tangent is horizontal. Now, what do you understand by tangent is horizontal? Horizontal tangent means this slope is 0. So in other words, in this case, we are going to find a point on the function, on the graph of the function, where the tangent is a horizontal line or the slope of the tangent is 0. So that is the question here, right? So let's go with our difference quotient equation. Find the slope and equate it to 0 to figure out which is that point x where the slope of the tangent is 0. So that is the question, correct? So let's go with that. So let's say slope m of the tangent line on any point A, in this case, on any point A, right, is limit of the function where h approaches 0, and the point we are saying a general point f a plus h minus f of a divided by h, correct? So that is what is in general slope of tangent line on any point A on this curve. Do you see that? And let's solve this in general, and then we'll later equate it to 0 to find what is the x value or what is that a value, right? That is the approach. So we get limit h approaches 0. And what do we mean by f a of h? We'll replace this x with a plus h, right? So we get 3 times a plus h whole square minus a plus h, right? So that is the value of f of a plus h. So this is first part, correct? Minus f of a. That means 3a square minus a, correct? So that is f of a over h. Now we need to expand this and simplify. So is it limit h approaches 0, and let me expand this part. This is 3 times a square plus 2ah plus h square minus a minus h. Well, that's the first part. Minus 3a square minus a over h. So this is equals to limit h approaches 0, and what do we get here? So you can see from here that 3 times a square minus 3 times a square, right? So these two terms will cancel out, and then we have a 3 times minus a, and this is just, so I made a mistake here. Let me correct it. 3 times is only for these 3 terms, correct? Not for these terms. This is wrong placement. Minus a minus h, correct? That is how it is. So good, we corrected. Minus a minus of minus a, right? So this will be 0, correct? So when we open the bracket, we can simplify at least to this extent. Another thing which you will notice is that we are left with these terms. So the terms left will be this and this and this. And in all these 3 terms, we have h common. Do you see that? H is common. So we can factor that out, correct? So I'm like cutting on the steps because we have done many questions like this now. And you know, we can simplify this to, now we get, so 3 times a square minus 3 times a square is 0. So I'm not writing that. Now I'm writing 3 times 2 is 6. 6ah now. So that will give me h. I'm writing h as a common factor outside. That right? So we have h as common, and 3 times 2 is 6. 6a I'm writing. 6a. And here I've factored out h, so I'm left with 3h. So plus 3h, correct? And here we're left with minus h. but I've taken out h as a factor, so I'm writing this as minus 1. I hope you understand. I've missed one step here, right? Now, most of you should get it. Divided by h. I've done it on purpose. I want you to now understand few steps in between. Fill them up, right? Fill them up. So fill in that step when you solve. Now here what you see is we have h over h, so we can cancel it. Cancel means h divided by h is 1, and 1 times anything is that thing, right? So we get this as equal to limit h approaches 0, and we have our slope as 6a plus 3h minus 1. That is what we have. Now here, if you put h as 0, what do you get? You get 6a minus 1, correct? So that's what you get. You get 6a minus 1. So that is the slope on any point of f of x. Do you understand? That's the slope. And the question for us is, where is tangent line horizontal? So when you're saying horizontal, this slope should be 0, correct? So we have to solve when this slope is 0. That is what we want. So we'll find that part now. So that means m, which we want, is actually equals to 6a minus 1, but we want this to be 0. That means tangent is horizontal. So let's calculate this. So that means that this means what? This means a is equals to 1 over 6. That means a equals to 1 over 6. Correct? So that means at x equals to 1 over 6, at x equals to 1 over 6, the slope of the tangent on this function will be 0. So that is the point. And as you see, this is a quadratic equation. So that is also the vertex of our function f of x. Correct? So that is the value. The coordinates of the point on this curve means you need both x and y values, right? So let's get the y value now. To get the y value, what we will do? We will find f of 1 over 6. So that will give us the y value, correct? So the y value here is equal to, we'll plug in 1 over 6 in our equation. 3 times x squared means 1 over 6 squared. We'll write 1 over 36 minus 1 over 6. And that gives us 1 over 6 minus 1 over 6. And that is equals to 0. And therefore, our answer is, let me write answer in a different ink now. We'll say our answer is that the coordinates of the points are 1 over 6 and 0. So that is what we get for this particular question. I hope you understand and appreciate it. Thanks and all the best.